The beard is back, baby. We're talking about drones today. So if you're currently in the market for a drone, this video is for you. Everyone uses drones. News channels use them. Real estate agents use them. Hell, even the Tiger King had one.
It's Joe Exotic and this is Sarge.
He was like a mythical character living out.
Now, before we get into anything, I want to quickly talk about my background in drones. I've been flying for about 3 years now. I've owned a total of 4 different drones, and I think I've had a drone up in 8 different states. I've flown over the ocean, I've flown in large congested cities, small towns, I've flown in the mountains. I also have my Part 107 certification, which pretty much just says that I can use a drone for commercial purposes. So we're going to be taking a look at 3 different drones today, and just as a side note, I have owned and used all of the drones that I'm about to talk about, so just keep that in mind. I'm going to break it down into 3 different price points today, so we'll start with the least expensive and work our way up. As always, if you guys have questions, just post it down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. The first drone is the DJI Spark, and I can't hold it up to the camera because I don't own it anymore, but I still think it's a drone worth reviewing. I bought it a couple months after I had my first drone. The first one I had was very big and bulky, and I wanted something small and portable, and the Spark is exactly that. Now, just to give you a comparison in size, I have this battery for my stabilizer. It's about the same size as the body of the Spark, so it's very small, very compact, and I should have some footage I'll put up right here of me flying the Spark. It's, like I said, very tiny. Now, the pros for this drone, it's great for beginners. I obviously said it's small. It's extremely affordable. I think the drone and the controller together is about $549, so you know, that's on the low end when it comes to drones, but you get great value with that price. The drone itself has object sensors, so it's very much a good drone for the price. Now, despite the compact size and competitive pricing, there are some drawbacks to owning this drone. The first is that the highest quality video it can record in is 1080p, which can kind of turn some people off because a lot of videographers and people are looking for 4K drones, and I get that, but I think you can still get away with just 1080p. Secondly, the stabilizer on the drone is a 2-axis gimbal. Basically what that means is the stabilizer can only turn and maneuver certain ways, so it can kind of jolt over if you turn it too quickly, and I'll show that here. A lot of the more modern drones have 3-axis gimbals, and that kind of makes it a little bit more buttery when you're panning and turning and all that. A small drone means a small battery, and because of that I think you get maybe 15 minutes in the air. But if you get a bundle package, when you buy the drone, it comes with a couple of batteries, so it kind of works itself out. Now, luckily, DJI kind of resolved these issues by releasing a new model. It's called the Mavic Mini. You can record in higher quality. You get better battery life, I think around half an hour per battery. What else? You get the 3-axis gimbal, and it's also cheaper, so you may want to consider that one. Next, we have the DJI Mavic Pro. I would say this is the middle tier when it comes to pricing. It's right around $800, but you can obviously find it cheaper in the used market. I would say this is my go-to drone whenever I fly because of how small it is. It's collapsible, so it's easy to put into a backpack with some other film equipment. You can record in 4K with this drone, and you can also take some pretty good still pictures with it too. I've been looking at this drone trying to find drawbacks, and honestly the only thing that I can think of is that the cost might be a prohibiting factor for some people. But what I can say is that if you have a use for it, it's definitely worth the investment. So the last drone that we're covering today is the DJI Phantom 4, and I know they make different types of Phantom 4s, but the one that I have is the advanced, and that usually goes for around $1,000. And I know that's a pretty penny to fork over for a hunk of plastic and some propellers, but like I said, if you have a use for it, it will definitely be worth it. With the Phantom 4 Advanced, you get 4K video, 20 megapixel stills. In addition to that, you get a 30-minute flight time per battery. It's very stable in the air. Out of all my drones, I would say that one is the best when it comes to camera quality. If you're a small business owner, or if you're thinking about starting a business with a drone, I would definitely suggest the Phantom 4. So now we need to talk about the cons with the Phantom 4, and I hate to say it, but there's quite a few, despite the good stuff that I just said. The first, obviously, is price. $1,000 is a lot, so that can turn a lot of people off. Secondly, there's no way to collapse it. It's very bulky and it takes up a lot of space. So I would suggest not traveling with that drone. I've done it, and every single time I've regretted it because it's just not very convenient to lug around with you. Not only is the drone bulky, but the controller is too, so that can be a problem for some people. So just to further prove my point, I'll put the Phantom 4 and the Mavic Pro next to each other. All right, you made it this far. I know that was a lot of information, but I hope going through these different models helped answer any questions you might have had. Drones have opened a lot of doors for me, and they're just such amazing pieces of technology. I hope after watching this video, you'll consider getting one because I want you to experience the same thing. I'll see you guys next week.